What the hell is that? Okay, it's a knife, but I don't understand what's really going on here. What was this little, like, case for something? Why, yes, it is. It's a case for a Bic lighter. Failure. Hang on, let me try again. Boom. This happens to be the MTech MT-A1127. It's a lighter folding knife. It's an assisted folding knife right there. There's the blade with a little case to hold a Bic lighter. I've tried various other off-brand lighters and they don't fit. This fits Bic lighters perfectly though, which are very widely available, at least here in the US as far as I know. They're cheap. They're pretty much every drugstore, Walgreens, CVS, Walmart, grocery stores carry them. These lighters are great. I have a whole video on them. Fantastic lighters. But we have a folding knife that can hold one now. Yep. Actually, I got this a couple of years ago, and I looked around for them now. I can't really find them anymore. I don't know where they're located, but essentially people buy them by packs, you know, for your convenience store, or maybe you have a knife shop or Marshall's shop, whatever kind of store you own. And these are sort of on a display, and you sell them individually. I've seen packs like that, but I have not found these individually anymore. I got this for, I think, like $13 or something a few years ago on eBay. These are all over the place, and you get different colors. This one happens to be the gold, but also comes in black, etc. I just kind of wanted one because I was kind of interested. No, I like higher-end stuff. MTech is not a very high-end company. They're cheap. A lot of you probably rolling your eyes and shaking your head at me for making a video on another MTech knife. But, you know, MTech will always have a special place in my heart. Now, if you want a folding knife that also carries a lighter/knife, you're not going to find many other options. And that's kind of the point of this video. If you want a lighter knife, this is one you can get. And actually, for its price point, I mean, back when I could find it anyway, it's actually not that bad of an option. It's kind of a gimmick, but it kind of isn't. And I'll get into it in just a moment. So let's just get these semi-redundant specs out of the way. We have the weight with the lighter is about 2.63 ounces as far as my scale goes. But without the lighter, it's basically 2 ounces on the nose. So it's kind of light, but it's uncomfortable to hold and operate without a lighter because your hand will be pinching into these very sharp corners of the aluminum right here. Anodized aluminum, by the way. The blade length is 1.63 inches. It is a liner lock. It is assisted. The overall length comes in at 4.26 inches. That is minus the lighter right here. And there's various ways you can insert the lighter. You can put it the other way around, but the way I had it in, the way you already saw it was my intended way. It clicks into place. It won't slide out on you because there is a lip on the aluminum right there to hold it in place. Again, it's rounded. It perfectly fits a Bic lighter. It is aluminum again, so it's probably not going to wear on you very easily. I don't see lighters ever not being able to become pressure fit into this over time. Not that it really matters. It's a really cheap device right here. The pocket clip is, I'm going to say that's a tip up. Yeah, it's a tip up carry, which is everyone's preferred method. It's actually a good pocket clip. I'm surprised for such a cheap knife. These 2 torque screws are holding it into place. It's ventilated. It's squared off. It's got a really good tension on there. Not too light, not too tight. It works very well. It's actually relatively comfortable. There's a lot to hold on to. As you can see, it's lopsided there, almost like an OTF knife or something, because the lighter just gives you a lot to hold on to. It's relatively comfortable because it is rounded right there because, you know, the shape of the Bic lighter. Then we have like a sort of a choil that your finger can grip onto, and then the flipper right there. The jimping on here does not work very well. Not that I really care. I like the cutouts right here. It's going to lighten it up a little bit. Probably by like 0.2 ounces. Oh, no, sorry, 0.02 ounces or so. It's basically nothing, but it's, you know, it's relatively light for what it is. The lockup is kind of poor on this, honestly. A little bit of side to side, which is adjustable, but the pivot screw is underneath the pocket clip. You can just barely see it right there. You have to take the pocket clip off if you want to adjust it. It has some up and down. Mine does anyway, which is not good. If this liner were a little tighter, a little stronger, that wouldn't be an issue, I don't think. Maybe not. I don't know. It's poor. It's poor, cheap construction. The assisted torsion bar, whatever they use on here, is actually pretty good. It doesn't feel slow or weak. It's actually a pretty strong torsion bar right there, which is surprising. Now, what is the point of this knife? I like the blade shape, by the way. Simple drop point right there. You can pierce it. It does cut. It doesn't say what the blade steel is. It says the design right there, USA design, but it is made in China. It's probably a 440A, could be a 440C, but regardless, it's going to have a pretty poor heat treatment on there. I'm not really sure what the coating is, but again, it's kind of redundant. You can see the pattern right there. Blackened. It's blactical. I even threw on a black lighter to kind of help with the tactical theme I'm going with here, as you can see. Light's normally just like any other Bic lighter, you have more to hold on to. If that concerns you, like the lighter wasn't enough to hold on to, there wasn't enough grip. Now that's not a problem anymore. So really, what's the point of this? It is kind of a gimmick. It's kind of like a young teenage boy would want, like, oh, cool, it's a lighter and a knife in one. But think of it kind of like a multi-tool. You know, you could say the same thing for multi-tools. A multi-tool is a tool that holds multiple devices in one, so you don't have to hold separate multiple devices, so it takes up, you could argue it takes up a little bit less space, there's less to clip onto your pocket, I should say, sorry, tongue-tied. This, you don't have to deal with a lighter floating freely around in your pocket. You can have the lighter clipped on your pocket, because I don't like devices and stuff dangling around inside of my pockets. They get lost easier, it's hard for me to find them, and sometimes they get into uncomfortable positions. And I like things clipped onto my pocket. I like folding knives with pocket clips on them. I love them. I love pocket clips. And this to me is kind of like an option, a very cheap option to have a lighter clipped to your pocket with a little bonus, a folding knife. So you don't have to carry a folding knife and a lighter. That's basically the point. So it's kind of a gimmick, but at the same time, it does have its use. I don't need this. I just wanted it for the gimmicky aspect. I thought it was kind of cool. And it is kind of cool, actually. It is fully functional. The blade still is not very good, but let's do a cutting test here. I haven't cut very much with it, but I've used lots and lots of MTechs. They don't last forever. But it is sharp out of the box. And I've used this a little bit. I haven't even touched it up since. Oh, that was piss poor. Hang on. I got it to work off camera. Okay, let's try again. I'm leaving this all in, by the way. There we go. Just user error, I think. You know, it's relatively sharp. Sharp enough. And this is a magazine paper, by the way, which is less easy to cut than regular paper. And this is so embarrassing. It's a Bud K magazine I got in the mail. I never subscribed to Bud K, ever. I just bought some cheap knife maybe like 7 years ago, and they just remembered my name. And they've been giving me magazines ever since. And you know what? I keep them to cut paper with. Speaking of Bud K, this is sort of an appropriate magazine for this style knife, because you get gimmicky stuff all the time. Oh, that's kind of cool. A bar set. So I guess this isn't for kids after all. It's a skull and a little skull shot glass. Heck yes. It's cool. BB guns, knives, swords, handmade arrowheads. Wow, what a perfect way to end this review. It's like a gimmicky knife that looks like it's meant for teenagers, like 13-year-old boys or something. And 13-year-old me would have loved this thing. But even 25-year-old me loves this thing anyway. It is functional. It will work in a pinch. The torsion bar on there, as far as its assist function goes, is good. The lighter works just fine. It is comfortable to hold. It carries nicely. It's not super heavy. It is kind of chunky. It's basically like a little Bic lighter, like piggybacking a folding knife on it, pretty much. But, you know, it's got its uses. You know, you don't want to carry multiple things. You want to throw as many tools into one as possible. You want to keep a lighter on you, but you just like having the bonus of having yet another blade on you. Like you probably got two in your wallet, you got one around your neck, you got one on your ankle, you got one in your belt, you got one in both of your pockets, and you dual carry, and you just want another one. This is a perfect excuse to have one. So that's it. That is the MTech MT-A1127. I just call it the lighter folding knife. But, yeah. That's, hope you enjoyed the video. I know it was a different one. Probably did not change your mind on getting this thing. That's okay. I still have a special place in my heart for MTech, and I always will.